From Kenmore to Hamburg, covering all of Western New York, this is News 4, your local news leader.
The Real ID deadline is this coming Wednesday. For years, Real ID has been talked about, and now the deadline is upon us.
All right, so what does it mean? Everyone flying in the U.S. will need to have a Real ID, enhanced ID, passport, or another form of federally compliant identification to fly domestically and go into certain federal buildings and all the rest. Now, Brad Rybczynski is the Hamburg Town Clerk here to talk about what you need to know. So a Real ID, I feel like news stations like us, we've done like hundreds of stories on Real ID because it was talked about right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then there were so many delays. So what do people need to know about it now?
Well, it looks like there won't be any more delays. That's for sure. Yeah, and before you travel, obviously you have to have the Real ID, the enhanced, but one of the options is a passport that we've been actually doing quite a bit of. It's another option for folks. It's not as difficult for some to get. And it's used. You can use it in a lot more areas too. You can travel internationally, not just on domestic flights, but you get your ticket punched to travel a little bit more with the passport.
Especially with Canada, right to the north, right?
Right.
You were mentioning that a passport, it might actually be easier. Why so?
Right. The requirement for with the Department of Motor Vehicles is for no matter how long you've been married, is to show your name change, which is disproportionately affecting women. And we've seen quite a few come in. So we want to make sure that they know that they have to have their marriage license when they go in, their birth certificate. They have to be original forms. They've got to be sealed. And those are items that we can help them with. They're available in our office. Go to the office that the license was issued from, not where you were married, but that's one of the biggest things we've seen is the difficulty with getting a marriage license.
And I understand that the Erie County Clerk is also, talking about expanding hours as well. Is that something that you're seeing other town clerks potentially do, looking into doing to deal with this?
I haven't seen too many others open up additional hours. There have been some talk among clerks on what they could do, and Mickey Kearns is doing a fantastic job of getting the word out. He's been doing a fantastic job of it for a lot of years, actually, right from the beginning. So, I think he'll make sure he's open and everything's available and working for everyone. If additional hours are needed, I'm sure he'll take a good look at it.
Brad, maybe you paint the picture for us. What are you seeing in Hamburg? We mentioned it's crunch time. A lot of people, look at tax day that just passed. A lot of people wait till last minute.
Right.
Are you seeing the hecticness in Hamburg?
We are, to a different extent. Their volume at the DMV, we're getting some stories that are really very, they tug at the heartstrings. We had a woman come in, she wanted to see her kids out in California because she just had her first grandbaby. And she had plane tickets for a month away and just had no idea how she was going to find her marriage license. Could not remember where it was from. And if she went to the Department of Health, it would have taken her 6 months to a year. So instead, I suggested that she get the passport card, which it's going to end up being a little more expensive than the Real ID, but she didn't have to go through the bother of going and getting the marriage license. She'd had her name for so long, had been using it in every part of life, so it was identifiable very easy, and she got the passport card and is going to see her grandkids now. That's her first grandkid.
Right. And roughly speaking, you're talking about the passport here. Roughly speaking, what's the timeline for actually getting it? We know that there is the option to get that express
right.
passport. You can sort of expedite the process for a higher cost. But roughly, what are we talking here?
The passport is actually getting back to people pretty quickly, within about a month. It used
that fast?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've really stepped up their game.
What would you say is the difference between a passport and a passport card? Are both of those options good when we're talking about Real ID and everything?
As far as Real ID goes, yes, you can fly on a domestic flight with it, and the Real ID will also get you into some federal buildings, as opposed to the enhanced ID, which now you get Canada into play, and the passport card, same thing. can get back from Canada, some ports of call, but you can't travel internationally with the passport card. You need the actual book to travel internationally.
All right, very good. Brad Rybczynski, thank you so much for coming on in and breaking down all the details for us.